we're having a little conversation about anime, specifically Attack on Titan, and its sort of socialist and Marxist parallels to the real world. The funny thing is, it doesn't matter necessarily, because a lot of people want to talk about the actual political system. And the thing that I've been trying to point out is it doesn't matter who's in charge if they're lying.
Yeah. It also, even if they are telling the truth, it doesn't matter because they're not going to live forever. That's my big issue with like political systems like that. Like Parody is a monarchy, and they make this whole big deal about putting Historia Rice in the place of whatever the Puppet King's name was before her. But like, even if she is nice, even if she is a benevolent ruler for while she's alive, she's gonna die eventually, and that's still a monarchy. You still have that whole political structure in place. So like, why are we glorifying the existence of this like, what is the omnipotent rule when you could have any type of democracy?
And then the other really weird parallel, because basically what they've set up in this story is that the royal bloodline, it would be like if Queen Elizabeth became queen because she ate her sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the bloodline is like this cannibalistic Titan gene that allows them to be these gods, these giants, but only for 13 years or something.
Yeah. And you know what, this is part...
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh, so this is part of why I have problems with things like District 9 and like this sort of metaphorical representation of real problems, is because you then get into like, you start to apply those metaphorical situations to the real world, where in Attack on Titan, it's like, in a way, the Marleyans are justified in being terrified of Eldians because they're the only ones that can become Titans. And they're the only ones that, like, if all the education was there, if everybody knew what was up, like, they would realize that they have all the power in this scenario.
I have often said that if you think about it, they're terrified because the Eldians are the only ones who are magical.
Yeah.
Basically, they're the only ones that can do this. So but they are quote unquote in the minority because since Paradise was set up as a penal colony and everybody's sent over there, I mean, it's like Cuba. Like they didn't, when they see blimps and advanced technology in Marley, they're losing their minds because they were left with nothing for generations. They don't even know what they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like all this information is hidden from them. And if they just knew their own history, and this gets into like parallels with any type of oppressed people. Like if you knew your history and if you knew what you were capable of, you knew the things that you'd done in the past, then you would have like a rational mind about what you can do now. And they just kind of don't.
The other parallel I want to bring up is when I just thought of this. So you are Nigerian American, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we look at some of these parallels within the Black community, because my mother is not from this country either. So like inside the household, my father was from here, my mother is not. So inside the household, there was always this battle. Like, don't act like an American, or don't act like a Black American. Or in this situation, it doesn't matter because you're going to a situation that's a predominantly white space. They're all going to hate you.
Yeah.
So it was just different levels of like.
Yeah. And you get.
But then when you get indoctrinated with this stuff, and then you go out in the world, and then we have African Americans hating on Africans and people who are from literally from the continent hating on us, saying we're appropriating. When you look at it with the parallel of this anime, what does that do to your psyche, or does that make you want to drink?
I mean, it's like, I feel like I don't even have to look at it through the lens of the anime. It's just like, you're not seeing who the actual enemy is, You're not seeing who's forcing you into this conflict with each other. You're not seeing the economic circumstances or the political circumstances that are forcing you to go to war against people that look like you, or to like drop bombs on people that look like you, or that are, in my case, forcing you to not live in a neighborhood with people like you. People are willing to subject themselves to this like higher authority above all of us than they are to like subject themselves to potentially to this perceived danger.